Hi. Oh, it sounds really loud. Yeah, so my name's Kate, and what I do is I make everyday objects interactive. So usually things like paper, and I do that through printing. So we print conductive ink, and we combine that with a microcontroller, and we just stick the two things together. And I've been thinking a lot about why we do this and what things we might want to create. And what we're trying to do, I guess, is kind of resurrect everyday objects that people have said are dead, which is kind of quite sad. But things like books, things like physical music, things like even the high street or magazines. And what we've noticed is that one thing that we say is to the iPad generation, print is just a broken touchscreen. And you hear stories of like 2-year-olds touching a piece of a magazine and trying to swipe on it and somehow make the image change or make it do something. So we're really excited about actually trying to make that happen for real. And we do that through printing conductive inks with standard printing processes. So the same way a magazine's printed or the same way a poster's printed, how could it be printed? How can it be made interactive in just the same way it's already made? So not, although I like to play around and do like one-off demos and make some really cool things, it frustrates me that once I've done that, how's that going to get out to everyone? How's that going to get out to 1 million people? So all my efforts, and with my team, so the 7 of us in Cambridge, have been about how to make that as manufacturable as possible. So how to make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, how to make millions of them, but also how to make that accessible for anyone to play around with it who can't solder, can't program, and doesn't want to mess about with inks themselves. So we've been trying to think how to solve those two problems, make it very accessible and make it so we can make these things in volume. So I guess I'll just show a few things. I have lots of things here. Actually, I'll just show you a little bit more about how it's made. So we print these big stickers. So there's conductive ink printed on there. And then we have a small circuit board. I'll show it on the camera. So it's a circuit board. This is a Bluetooth one. And then we also have circuit boards that have sound on and capacitive touch. And this one has an SD card as well. And this has a wired surface sound actuator. So if it's stuck to the table, it would turn the table into a speaker. If it sticks to a window, it turns a window into a speaker. And this one has some larger batteries so it can make some noise. So all we do is just press that onto the sticker. The other side is self-adhesive as well, so you can peel that off and stick your own graphic on. That's if you are making your own. You just stick these things together. In a factory, they can be made in volume without people having to touch them. So. Oh, is this on? Maybe. I'm not a musician. I'm a I don't know if you thought I was going to do an amazing performance. I'm actually a scientist, so all I can do is play around with tech. I can pass this out if anyone wants to have a play. Someone be brave and come and get it. And I have a replacement. Does someone else want to play? Yeah, so I'm a scientist. I studied electronics and then I studied physics. So my thing is moving electrons around. But when I make things that they don't look very nice, they kind of look like one of my science experiments. So I've been really lucky to have some creative people join my team. So I work with some designers as well. Yeah, so we can basically make these posters do anything. So one of my colleagues Is this actually working? Oh, yeah. It's just I can't hear it. It's cool. He wanted to do a treasure hunt. So you have to search the islands to find where the treasure is. And he has a really bad pirate voice.
Tell each of the 7 seas, and I tell you,
it's actually quite
good.
good.
Through 3 sheets to the left.
Yay! And then the treasure moves, so it changes every time you touch it. What else have we got? So, this is made by another one of my colleagues. This is scary. So you can have a play with that if you want to, or not. So the challenge that we've had is every one of these has generally had to be programmed and the software written by one of my colleagues. And so we've kind of become the bottleneck in that. So we've been thinking, how can we make this really easy for anyone to make any of these things? And it's been the challenge because at the same time, what we try and do is everything that we design to make it as manufacturable as possible. So although in the beginning, when I sort of started doing this, which was actually about 10 years ago, it's been a long journey, we started off using the microchip PIC and then moved to the AT Tiny and then started using the MSP 430. And all of this was before Arduino or anything like that, so I had to kind of like learn how to do those things without really any sort of proper development environments. And then to make it worse, because what I worried about was if we make one with something like an AT Tiny, how do we make that scalable? If it's an Arduino-based thing, you can make 1 or 2, but how do you make lots? And how do you make sure that they're affordable in volume? So we started using chips from Taiwan, and then we started having to program our chips in assembler, so it's really, really inaccessible to anyone at all. So what we've done now is we've worked on, so that these chips are one-time programmable, so program once, that's it. But we've added a flash chip, and we've added an SD card holder, and we've made a really simple software tool. So for programming this, there's no programming at all. All you do is choose the sounds on your computer that you want with a very simple tool. A drop-down list chooses what action and which button and how sensitive it is. You save that on the micro SD card, plug it in, stick that on the poster, print out your own graphics, and you've made your own jungle poster or pirate poster or drum kit. And I've been sticking them on the floor, and you can stick them on the walls, and you can stick them on a chair, you can stick them anywhere, and you can stick them around a curved shape. So you can add sound to anything just with a sticker, a simple bit of software, and a bit of nice artwork and some sounds, which is really cool. And we just actually launched that on Kickstarter yesterday. So either spread the word or back it, and it's called Printed Touch, and it's going to be on there for a month. So we're really super excited about that. Am I okay for time? Or yeah, good. Yeah, so that's all of the simple sticker touch, and it makes its own sound. And you can actually plug it into a jack and put it into your own sound system. So I've done one where I play some tunes in the kitchen at work, and then on the floor I have, and it even works through my crazy big boots, I can stomp drum beats, and I have DJ sound effects on the floor, and I can do all of those in the kitchen. So while I'm supposed to be working, not only am I not working, I'm disturbing and annoying everyone. But it's really addictive. Once you start making all the surfaces around you have sounds in them, it's like, how can you not? Yeah. Right. So the next platform that we're working on is Bluetooth. So this is my notebook, and I really hope this works. I don't know if anyone knows, but notebooks are called notebooks because, not you take notes, but because they play notes. Again, I'm not a musician, but if you put a space harp in Ableton, it sounds really good. And This is note paper because it plays notes, and this has got some nice wobble on it. Whoa. I wanted to see how low the speakers went, so I put the lowest MIDI notes on. The stage was shaking. I really wish I could play, but... Yeah, so we are working on a platform for the Bluetooth board. Is really super slim, and it has a 2016 coin cell, which when this board goes to sleep, which it goes to sleep when it's dark and not paired, it can last between a year, between 1 and 2 years. And it works in exactly the same way. You just have a sticker, and in fact I can pass some stickers around. Does someone want to grab a sticker? Ah, cool. Actually, I'll say a bit more about the stickers. These ones are an array of different. So there's A3, A4, and 2 A5s. We print A2, and the largest that we printed is 2 A0, which is 1 meter by 1.5, roughly. And we're just about to print some 2 meter ones for cinema displays. So in the cinema, you can touch the big cardboard things and make some noise. So the Bluetooth one, which is the next one we're doing, it's running Apple's Bluetooth MIDI protocol, which came out last year, which is why these just send MIDI straight into my iPhone or my MacBook. And we're going to make this totally reconfigurable just through a really simple smartphone app. So again, we want no need to program. So you just have a sticker, press that on, and then you've created a MIDI which can be stuck anywhere. I've got one more demo. Hope this works. Okay. DJ Qbert, who's an amazing scratch DJ from San Francisco, asked us to make his album cover interactive. And we printed this whole album cover. We printed over 1,000 of them. It's really beautiful graphics. Does it go to a screen somewhere, or is that cool? And the vinyl inside is so cool. I love it. All the graphic design was done in New York by a company there. But inside, it has these DJ decks.
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Oh, can you hear that? Oh.
Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoop Doggy
I'm coming through
Dogg.
with jujitsu. I'm coming through with jujitsu. I'm coming through with jujitsu. I'm coming through with jujitsu.
And I can put it in a loop. And I can half loop. And the decks work as well, so I should be able to scratch. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is just make it very, very easy for anything that's printed, all of those things that people have said are dead, to make them interactive, to give them exactly what the digital has, which is touch, and it's connectivity, and it's the flow of data. And if we can put those 3 things, which I call digital DNA, into everyday objects, then they are not going to die. The computer is going to die, because everything around us will have the essence of a computer inside. And that's why I believe that the future will look more like the past than the present. So it's not a world of the Jetsons or the Minority Report. The future is going to look like Harry Potter and Mary Poppins, where an album you can just scratch and you can play music on, and where notebooks play notes. And it's a magical world that I want to live. And I want to make that as accessible to anyone as possible, and to make the tools and to promise to be able to put that into production. So, yeah, find our Kickstarter and spread the word so everyone can play with this. Thank you.
Dr. Kate Stone, thanks so much for being with us. I think this is absolutely amazing, and I'm absolutely gutted that you can't get me one of those with the vinyl in it, because they're so collectible. They've been collected. But the packaging is fantastic. But do support the Kickstarter campaign. It's called what again?
It's called Printed Touch.
Printed Touch.
Yeah.
Find it on Kickstarter. Sonify and musicify your environment. I think that's a fantastic thing to do.
I have lots of the tech with me, so if anyone just wants to play with it and try and make something, then just find me and we'll make something.
Awesome. Another big round of applause for Kate Stone, please, ladies and gentlemen.